something new with my Mac.
Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to have another incredible interview on the Success and the Less show. Please welcome the boss lady, Miss Nicki Nou. She is the CEO of the top selling hair product brand, not only in natural hair care, but in the hair care industry. That is Curl Dynasty, that empowers women with textured hair to experience and embrace hair freedom. Curl Dynasty is an ultra successful Black owned, hair product company that was founded in 2014. You can find Curl Dynasty online at the website, but also at your local Walmart, Kroger, and Target. So I won't steal the shine away from the boss lady today. So welcome, Nikki. How are you?
Hi, Kat. Thank you so much for having me. I am doing great, feeling great, and I am so excited to chat with you today.
Yes, yes, yes. So let's get started. I hear a little accent. Um, so where are you from? And then let walk us through, your vision initially, and how did you get to this place that you are at right now?
Okay, so I am from Haiti, born and raised. I did not come to the USA till I was about 13, going on 14. So I think now, for the most part, I've lived most of my life in the USA now. Curls Dynasty, wow. Whew, the journey, the climb, and this beautiful natural hair you're seeing now. That was the goal. That was the vision, not only for myself, but also for all the women and some of the men that I serve. Uh, so, like a lot of young Black girls, I had a relaxer early on, right? And I always say in the beginning, to be truthful, I loved it. I literally felt like I was these kids in the Just For Me commercials, just for me. Like, it was pretty, it was long, it was straight, it was shiny, it was amazing. But over time, the chemicals really did a number on my hair and my scalp. Because I really was the kind of person that, like, I needed my touch ups every 6 to 8 weeks. So if you're not familiar with relaxers and touch-ups, like, it's a chemical straightening that you do to naturally texturize curly, kinky hair, to make it straight, right?
That's what I
And
have. Yeah.
yes, and as your hair grows, every 6 to 8 weeks, you need to smooth out the new growth so that it's straight just like the rest. So I really was doing this every 6 to 8 weeks for years, and it just did not work out for me. On my last touch up, I had a chemical burn. It was so bad that when your stylist panics, it's bad. And this lady poured estrogen or something on my hair to kind of make it feel better. And I still sat there like a good little soldier under the hooded dryer for like 2 hours because my hair was long. It was terrible. Yes, it was very traumatic. But after that experience, where like for weeks after, I was dealing with the scabs, my scalp peeling, flaking, and it did a number on my self esteem. So that's when I decided that I would no longer do the chemical processing to my hair, and that I would let my hair grow out. And it's in the process of doing that I started making things at home, researching online how to take care of this foreign thing growing out of my scalp, because I was never used to my natural texture. I did not know how to take care of it. I did not know what she liked. So yeah, so in the process of doing this, I made things at home that people around me started seeing the results on my hair, and they asked me what I'm doing, and I started sharing my recipes and making concoctions for them, and they were paying me for it. I was like, girl, what? Yes. You want to give me $10? No problem. Right. And it just kind of kept on going, and the momentum just kept on rolling until I said, okay, 2017, this is not gonna stop. This is great. I enjoy what I do. I enjoy the people that I do it for. So I decided to set up an official online business. Um, and here we are years later. We're in the major national retailers you mentioned and countless beauty supply stores here in the USA and abroad.
Wow, that's awesome. How did you have to revamp your business plan during the pandemic? Because I know a lot of people, especially online
Whew.
stores, and can you talk about the importance of, I guess, recession proofing your business, especially like online?
Yes. So, a couple things happened with the pandemic. Supply chains problems, boo, everything went crazy. but the demand went up. So it did the opposite. You know what I'm saying? So now I have a ton of people who are at home. They're not going to the stores. They're not going to their hairdressers. So they're figuring it out at home and they want to buy the stuff. Now I cannot get my jars. I cannot get my bottles. I cannot get the caps for nothing. So there was a lot of pivoting involved. And it's one of the fun parts, for the most part, of being an entrepreneur, figuring it out. You know what I'm saying? Problem solving. Around that time, I remember I was like, "Whoo, the ghetto," because the line of products. I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Listen, my jars are like they're clear containers usually, right?
Yeah.
During COVID, there were no more clear containers anywhere, so I had to pivot and put the stuff in like the brown amber colored jars.
Okay.
So things were a little bit mismatched. I was like, I sent an email to my email list. I'm like, look, y'all want the product or you stuck in the jar? Like, which is it? So
right.
I was still making stuff by hand, and I was able to just lean into my audience, talk to them, let them know what's going on. It's still Curls Dynasty. However, here's the reason why things are changing. So this was an interesting time. I want to say that it really stretched and grew me as a business owner.
Okay. So talk about the initial R&D process. Like, how long did it take you to finally get the product right?
So the line right now has about 11 products. I can speak about the most recent 3 items that we released earlier last year. I call it the Dynasty Diva Trifecta. And I believe from beginning to end, and this might be because I am such a nerd with the process. I always say that I am my first customer, and I want the product to perform the way, like, would give me the result I'm looking for. I'm not the kind of person that's just gonna put out another product just because, oh my gosh, it's been a while since we released something, let's do that. You know what I'm saying? We always create with solutions in mind. So that last line, it took me about 1 year, I want to say, just about from beginning to end. Because the moment I say, okay, here's a problem that I have identified, and I would like to bring out a solution. So the time for me to research the ingredients, what works well together, does it make sense? Consulting with the chemists and the scientists that are on the team, creating the first batch, testing it out on myself, other people in my household, and then sending it back. That did not work. Choosing the scents, the containers, the colors, the labels, the packaging. I love that process. It's beautiful, but for me, it can take anywhere from 9 months to a year.
So did you put pressure on yourself to get it done? Because I know sometimes us creators, we try to get the product out so fast, and we're rushing this timeline. Did you ever have to move your timeline back?
I did move it back. I moved it back because if it's not perfect the way, and this is not about, I put pressure and felt rushed when it was time for the packaging and the labels. But as far as like creating the formulas themselves, no. I'm not rushing that for nothing. Like my scientists, they can be mad at me. They be like, listen, you keep sending stuff back. It ain't gonna pop until it pops.
Right.
Yes. No pressure as far as like the formula part, but once I get that done, I'm like, okay, graphic designer, you better be ready. Let's go.
So, what are some of the top, I guess, compliments that keeps your customers coming back? Like, what are some of the things that you hear that differentiate your products from any other natural hair care products that's out there?
My favorite is when they say these actually do what they claim. And that's real. I put so much care, it's like an obsession, into making sure I'm creating to like solve a problem. You know what I'm saying? So for me, when I hear the customers actually identifying and saying the things that I made sure I created this thing for, it's like, you get it, we did it. Yes. So there are a lot of products out there, and a lot of them they cannot back it up. They can't walk the talk. So when my customer says, oh my gosh, these actually did what they say. And we ran a lot of Facebook ads during 2020 and 2021 And I saw comments like, oh, well, this product did not work. All it did was give me moisture. Yes, the line is Moisture Infusion Collection. It's supposed to help you infuse moisture and retain it.
Right.
We did it.
Right.
So that's the worst I've heard. But I was like, but okay,
Yeah.
yes.
Can't please everybody, right? So,
No, I mean, if you
yeah.
were looking for something that is going to alter, I think a lot of people, when we return natural, we have hair goals in mind. And for us, like, we want our hair to look like such and such.
Right.
My products are not going to alter your natural curl pattern. It's going to enhance what you already have and make it pop. So if you want your hair to look like so and so, I cannot take you from a tight coil to a loose curl without some kind of chemical processing. That's not what my products do. But I do promise that if you have kinky dry texture, you're not gonna have a problem with keeping your hair moisturized and soft. Period.
Okay. Okay. So what about brand ambassadors? Like, have you all dabbled in that lane?
Absolutely, absolutely. As a brand that has grown mainly through social media, that has been a key part. Community building is the backbone of what we do. We have worked and collaborated with a ton of ambassadors over years, and we have an affiliate program even where um, our ambassadors or affiliates can make commission um, just by doing what they're already doing. And this is something that we make available first to our customer base. So if you like, we send a blast email like, okay, you already use the products, you love them, and you're already posting about them. If you would like to share with more people, put somebody on, help them solve this problem, and earn some extra coins with that, tap in. So we love it. I absolutely love being able to speak with the girls, try to do some product education, teach them techniques, and yeah, very important to have ambassadors.
That's good. Yeah, so a lot of people, I've gotten a few questions. I'm going to ask a couple of them from the audience. So one of them is, how did, I guess, what advice would you give the people right now who are trying to start a hair care line and, from their house or from wherever they're at, and they're having a hard time, the marketplace actually buying their product and, getting outside of their family and friends?
Okay, so one of the best ways that I could say, you cannot sell something that people don't know it exists. So you have to be absolutely shamelessly posting, talking, ranting, teaching about your product every single day. I do not care if you do not get one like or one comment. They see it. They see it.
Yep.
They might not engage with the post, but they're gonna see the post. And the more you show up, it's like my mentor told me, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. You know what I'm saying? So if you keep showing up, you keep talking, you stay consistent, you're going to get somebody's attention. And if you're not talking about it, you're not gonna sell it. So show up.
Okay. Okay. So what about the distribution? How did you set up that deal within like these different stores?
It really helps if you have a sales team, like brokers. For some people, as was the case for Curls Dynasty, it was kind of like both, right? Because when a brand is online and you're doing well, you have a lot of visibility, customers are leaving reviews, a lot of YouTube videos are being made featuring the products. Like the buyers from these stores, they are paying attention, they're following and they're watching. So sometimes they could reach out to a brand that they're interested in. But the more common route is to have people that are in sales that do this, that can actually help you build your brand, because there's a way to go about being in stores, and it's not for everybody. It is a very delicate process. There is a cost of doing business with big box retailers. I think a lot of people really see this as some sort of like, it is a goal, it's a noble goal, it's an amazing thing, it's a great feeling, and it's amazing for your customers to be able to get your products conveniently nearby. However, as a small owned business, you need to understand the investment that it would require of you, both as a human being but also financially. And you need to have wisdom. So this is why I will always say that my sales team, they have the experience, they've been out there. It's more about brand building and not just putting products on shelf. They know how to teach you how to present your product, who to present to, at what point in time you're ready for this retailer versus that one, because they don't all have the same programs, and to help you grow in increments, because taking on too much too fast, you will sink. So get a good sales team, a broker.
Okay. Did you ever feel, well, let me back up. How did you deal with competition? I think a lot of people are scared of that as well.
It is a necessary thing. Like, competition is not something you avoid. A lot of people want to say, I'm not competing with anybody. The only person I'm competing with is myself. Okay, I get it, but also not true. Anyone that you speak to, let's say you're going to present your business to an investor right now, they will ask for, you have to do a market analysis, and they're going to ask you who your competitors are. This does not mean you in a war with that person. You need to see what's going on. A lot of things that are out there right now, they say there's nothing new under the sun. It's already there. You just put your own special sauce, your own special spin on it, and you create something new, right? And for me, there was a time at the height of the natural hair movement, there was a lot of noise online because we were all doing this online. And I got to a point where I'm like, I don't want anything to bleed into my creativity. So I unfollowed anything and anyone that was doing the same thing that could somehow overlap, or in my subconscious for me to end up doing something like you were doing, because there was a lot of comparisons happening at the time from our customers, right? Somebody's doing a video, it's like, oh, on this side I use Curl Dynasty, on this side I use X. I was like, what? Okay. Yes. So you definitely have to understand, like, if you are gonna go into this industry, do not be afraid of competition. It is not a bad thing. It is not a nasty thing. It does not have to be bad. Rather, you should be learning from your competitors. They are your teachers. You see what they do well, and you expand on that. You see what they're not doing so well, and you provide a solution for that.
So what is your typical day look like? Like, I'm sure you're not always outside and partying.
Ooh.
Can you talk about, I think people need to hear the non-glamorous side of what it takes to run a successful, thriving business.
Um, so going by social media, people would always definitely think I'm doing a photo shoot every other day, or just having glamorous speaking engagements, or no, that's just like, that's a rarity. Really, my day, and I have two kids, by the way. I work long hours. I work over 14, 16-hour days, because how can I say this? Commitment. The thing that can make or break your business is how committed you are to it. Because at the end of the day, nobody else can do your job for you. You understand? So I've learned to be disciplined with my mind. I learned to create the space that I need for myself. I learned to look for knowledge every single day. So I wake up, the first thing I do, I do my devotions. I put on a sermon or a motivational video from some of the people that I admire online that have gone the distance. I do work out, but not every single day. It switches. Sometimes I work out in the morning, depending on what's going on with the kids, but mostly in the evening. That is a very important part of my regimen because it keeps me sane. There's a lot going on in here.
Yeah.
So working out gives me an outlet. Um, I am on the computer so much that my eyes are going bad. Yes. And I like to be involved with my business, so I check emails, I look at what's going on in the comments, I check the DM. I like to stay in touch with my customers, and it's a lot of researching, it's a lot of learning, it's a lot of meetings, it's a lot of calls. It's like, sometimes, Kat, I feel like I cannot catch my breath, and I am grateful for my Apple Watch that says it's time to stand up. I was like, oh yes, it's
Wow.
time to breathe. Yes. So it requires you to be aware of yourself, set boundaries, know your limits, and like show yourself grace. It's not all that glamorous, but I wouldn't change it for anything in the world. Like the rewards, entrepreneurs, we take big risks, but the rewards are worth it.
So what do you have to say to the moms out there, who say, I got my kids, I really want to start this business. I don't have any time. I got to do this and that. So what do you say to the moms?
First of all, girl, I want to say you can absolutely do this. I was a young mom. I was still like wrapping up my bachelor's degree. I graduated from my bachelor's degree with my son on my hip. He was one. Okay, I got married young, had my kids young. I continued on to school, did my master's. By that time, I had two. Listen, kids, I grew up in a culture where they're like, oh, if you have a kid, your life is over. I was like, no, my kids are my biggest motivators right now. And I make them part of the process. So, of course, when they're younger, you do have to be more disciplined with your time. You understand? And this is what I mean when I say you have to give yourself grace, because that mom guilt, it doesn't go away. It does not go away. To this day, when I have to get on a plane to go to a meeting somewhere or do a hair show, it's like, and mind you, they're 14 and 9 now. They're grown. I still get like super mom guilt. But what really helps me is that discipline I mentioned earlier. I do lists a lot. Like for every day, I start my day before I go to bed the night before. I do a to-do list of the things that I would like to accomplish the next day. So that gives me a target, something to work towards. And I know at this time, I have to pick up the kids from school. This is their time. It's dinner, it's homework, it's showers. You understand? So you have to create the time, enough for yourself, enough for them, enough for the business. Is it hard? Yes, it is. But can you do it? We all out here doing like super women things. You got this.
So what are your last three questions? So what are your next 1 to 3 year results? I stopped saying goals because I feel like goals, we kind of keep pushing them off. So I've been using the word results. So
Yeah. Um, I really want to, like, for me, this is a quest. It's a whole mission. When I talk about hair freedom, nothing gets to me more than to hear that there are still women out there who have negative feelings towards their hair. Not because, just for the lack of not knowing how to take care of it. You understand? Like when somebody says, oh my gosh, I keep it in weave because this thing is so hard, I hate to deal with it. I love that we have options, and I'm not the person preaching you have to go natural. I'm all about giving you versatility. I'm here to equip you so that what grows under the weave, under the wig, is healthy, and that if you don't have wig and weave or whatever, that you can still feel confident and feel beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So my mission, goal for the next 2 3 years and beyond, is to continue to create from a place of, need. Give the ladies what they need to make sure they feel that freedom. And I want to take this across the globe. Like right now, we're in the process of expanding internationally. In a more coordinated effort, because girl, these products are everywhere, and I'm like, it's where? Who put it there? And I was like, we're in Nigeria. Oh, okay, great. What happened? So just really taking it to those places across the globe where there are people who can benefit from these ingredients and these formulas and really enjoy them. That's really it.
okay. What about any partnerships or celebrities that you want to do a deal with as far as promoting your brand? Is there anybody?
Yes, I totally want a couple of celebrity ambassadors. That is part of my next marketing strategy. I am in the process of identifying the people outside of my celebrity crushes, people that would be good, that actually aligns of the brand, that can actually, that, our mission and the vision resonate with these people. So I have my eye on a couple people like Kelly Rowland. I
Okay.
love Sierra. I love Kiki Palmer. So just, Megan Good. See, these are all the crushes. But
Okay.
yeah, definitely looking into celebrity partnerships.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And last, I guess last question before we wrap up. So, as far as you doing speaking engagements, are you actively like going out? Because I know a lot of people want to become a speaker like yourself. They want to get booked. So, did you have to do like a lot of free things in the beginning, and then you started evaluating whether it's going to be paid or whether if you're going to like, do like a swap or something? Can you talk about that?
That's actually funny. For the longest, I don't even know how to explain it. I got yelled at when I told a friend a fellow business owner, that I was not charging. I thought I was supposed to just do this and help other people without a fee attached to it. So to this day, I really don't. I really don't. I don't. I don't charge anything. The last time I did a speaking event was last month at Girlfriends Inc. Um, it was more like a swap, a collaboration, because the platform that I collaborated with that was throwing the event, they do ads, social media ads, and they do a newsletter blast. And they were like, okay, here's what we can do to really help push your business as you spend this time with us and pour back into the women that we work with. So I don't aggressively go out there looking for speaking engagements at this time. Um, if an invite comes, I check out what it is you're doing, who your audience is, and if I can provide value, I will say yes and do this as something that I enjoy doing and helping other people. But at this time, I'm not looking for speaking engagements or charging.
Okay, that's good to know. Well, let's talk about your upcoming products, events, webinars, tutorials. Let's definitely get into that side before.
Yes. Okay. So earlier I mentioned that there are 3 products we launched a few months ago. They are part of a bigger collection that focused on strength and growth. That line came about, just a couple of years ago after my mom passed away. And in the process of, losing her in the last few weeks of her life, and then after her death, I went through a major hair loss phase. Like my edges were gone, my hair was thinning horribly, and no one really talks about this. Like what happens? I know we know about this in the sense of postpartum shedding after a woman has the baby. But that is with any major stressful life event, having a baby, losing a job, anything that is stressful, it's gonna come out in the health of your hair. So and this is at the height of COVID, and I'm like, we're all stressed right now. There's a lot of people losing loved ones that they probably don't realize. They're not educated on this. I want to prepare them. I want to equip them so that we can deal with that. So this entire line, everything in it has ingredients and just the vitamins and minerals that help boost hair strength, that help prevent breakage and help actually promote growth. So shampoo, conditioner, gel, it's amazing. I loved creating this line. It came from a place of love and care. I cannot wait for the remaining 6 items to launch, hopefully by early next year. Let's see, what else do we have going on? Curls Dynasty, we put on, since we moved to our new HQ in Fort Lauderdale, we have much more space now. So I did my first pop and sip event just a couple months ago. It was amazing.
When are you coming to DC?
Next month.
Okay.
I am going to be at Ubiquitous Hair Expo in DC next month. Yes.
Okay.
So, but that was amazing. I always say that, like, I'm an admin person, I'm a nerd, I will build a business from scratch, but do not ask me to decorate a thing, do not ask me to plan no events. I can't, that's not my forte. But that turned out so well. I was like, okay, we just unlocked another level, we can do this. Everybody had a great time, so I'm looking forward to do another one. The people who were there, they're like, we did this at least once quarterly. So another one, Pop and Sip, is coming. And I'm also brainstorming other fun events to do. Outside of that, I do some mentoring for young women who are actually serious about learning how to build and scale a brand. There are a lot of people out there that are creating things at home, but not everybody really has the determination, the passion, the consistency, the discipline to actually see it through. And that's what it really takes. You know what I'm saying? So for the people, and again, it's not something that I advertise. There are women who slide in my DM and they're like, hey, I'm doing this. I love what you're doing. Can you please teach me? And I'm like, okay. There are a series of questions that I ask to determine if you are for real. Are you serious? Because our time is valuable. You know what I'm saying? I cannot be spreading myself all over the DM trying to give advice to everybody. So I mentor a handful of young women who are doing amazing things, that are about to birth some fire into this world. Yes, and there's another thing that I do, a 5 days boot camp, I would call it, building a brand. So basically, it's the kind of things that I teach in mentoring, but I condense it in 5 days for 1 to 2 hours per day, covering the major points in building a brand and scaling. So I've done that once so far. I do it once a year. I plan on doing it again in September this year, God willing. And yeah, it's online.
That's all. I was
For
just going to ask you that. Okay.
Yeah, it's online and it is for 5 days. It is a blast. Let me tell you something. I don't do boring. If you're around me, I'm gonna break out into dance at some point. I might say hello. So it's very interactive. And yeah, I enjoy it. I never thought of myself as someone who would enjoy teaching.
Mm.
I never liked talking much. I'm not a talker, but like the more I do this, the more I find that I enjoy speaking with other women and sharing with them.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, can you tell the world what they can find and connect with you and buy and purchase the brand as well?
Yes, if you have any kind of problems with dryness, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm your girl. So Curls Dynasty products, like I said, the core line we focus on moisture infusion, but more importantly retention. Okay, a lot of us will get our hair will feel moisturized today, but the next day we have to start all over again. That ain't life. Nobody got time for that. I need you to be able to retain moisture in your hair for longer, so you're not manipulating it all the time, which is gonna cause your hair to shed and break, right? So that's what we focus on, and also we have the growth line right now. If you are somebody that has any issues with hair loss or you just have hair growth goals, got you covered. We take a 360 inside out approach with that as well, so it's not just me slapping some oil on your scalp. We have gummies, so it's an inside out work. I'm saying vitamins to do the work on the inside. We have the growth serum, which is a concentrated formula, and then we have the anti-breakage cream. So it's a 360 approach. You really see results with that. You can find them on curlsdynasty.com. Yes. On Instagram, on all social platforms, it's at Curls Dynasty. You can conveniently shop from our Instagram feed. Very easy. And we're also very interactive, very involved. So any questions you might have on technique, product usage, anything at all, you slide in the DM, you get a reply. On the website, there's a chat box. You ask a question in there, we answer. We're a bunch of obsessive people who constantly check our messages. And I'm
That's
the leader
important.
of that band. I'm the leader of that band. Do not try to put me on lockdown. I'll still talk to my people. So yeah, and as for me personally, you can find me at Nicki Nou across all social platforms as well.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you, Nicki, so much for your time today. I'm sure you shed a lot of jewels, encouraged, and inspired not only a lot of women but also men who may be interested in starting their own hair product and hair care line. And I'm glad you didn't leave out the men too, because I'm sure some men will say, "What about me?"
Right.
Yeah. So, are there any products that you have for men, especially?
No, not at this time. Anything that I create, if you are someone that has any kind of textured hair, period. And the reason why I really started including the men more when I speak is because I was like, we have a growing number of men in the dynasty. Okay, kings, I see y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like men are becoming more comfortable with saying, yes, I want to take care of my hair. Grooming my hair is important to me besides just going to the barber or just whatever soap I shower with. I love that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I see nothing but great things for you and Curl Dynasty. I look forward to the growth. I look forward to you guys getting on the stock market exchange and ringing the bell. And
Thank you,
Kelly
Kat.
Rowland. Who do we say? Kelly Rowland, Megan Good, Sierra, and one
Sierra,
person.
Kiki Palmer.
Kiki Palmer. Okay. We're putting that
Yes,
to the universe. So they'll make that deal happen. So
absolutely. Thank
yeah.
you so much. And I'm a woman of faith. I pray a lot about everything that I do is part of my process. So it shall be done. Thank you
Yes.
again for your time and for tapping in. I
No
appreciate you.
problem. Thank you.